Good afternoon. Welcome to 3 o'clock with SOC. Give me a second while I welcome our Spanish speaking neighbors. Buenas tardes. Gracias por estar con nosotros hoy día. Si quieren acceso al programa en español, por favor marcan al número 425 que aparece aquí en la pantalla. 425-436-6200. 425-436-6200. Cuando contestan la llamada, por favor, comparten el clave o el contraseña que empieza con el número 6, que es 627-682. 627-682. Welcome this Friday, May 1st, May Day, which is recognized here locally by one of our greatest social justice champions, or led here by one of our greatest social justice champions, Voces de la Frontera, who will be with us a little later to talk about what May Day is and what efforts are being made around it, given the circumstances we find ourselves in at Safer at Home order. And as many of you know, usually this is a day that many of us are participating in the May Day Solidarity March and are not able to quite yet, but look forward to what Tommy from Voces de la Frontera has to share with us. My name is Tammy Rivera. I'm the Executive Director and Lead Organizer for Southside Organizing Center. We want to reassure you we've been with you. We haven't missed a day since this started. Thank goodness our board and staff and funders helped us to stay open and make the adjustment from organizing in person to organizing here virtually. You can reach us in all the same ways that you have, with the exception of in person, and we are looking forward to when we can do that again. You can call our offices still at 414-672-8090, 414-672-8090. And you can email us at soc@socmilwaukee.org. And you can connect in all of our social media platforms here, specifically on Facebook Live every day during the forum, on Facebook at any given time, on Instagram, and on LinkedIn. And we look forward to hearing from you and engaging with you. I want to remind you all something I haven't reminded for a little bit, which is we have several phone canvassers, organizers calling you because, again, we can't knock on your doors or see you outside of El Rey or hold an event or see you at an event. And so we have a whole group of our organizers, staff, canvassers, and our youth giving you a call, seeing how you're doing, if you need any coronavirus support, and helping you to connect with that information and resources and ways that you can take action. So please know that we are calling you from SOC. You can always call us back at our main number, because what you're seeing is phone numbers from a virtual phone bank we have. Those start with numbers, some of them area code 414, but others start with area code 920. And if someone calls and you want to verify if that indeed is from SOC, you can call our main number and say, is so-and-so working with you? Because I just got a call from them. So you can certainly do that to feel comfortable that it's us giving you a call. The other thing that we've launched this year that's brand new, so that you know it is us, is a partnership with Pulso on Facebook Messenger. And that's a channel, just like a TV channel, but it's a messenger channel. And we have a partnership with them to be able to connect with you there. So some of you may have seen one of our staff or volunteer leaders send you Facebook Messenger, and their face will appear and say, we'd like to share some COVID-19 resources with you. That's us. Go ahead and open that and take advantage of that resource and share it, because you may or may not need information about how to apply for unemployment or about what can be and can't be done around evictions, where you can get tested, etc. But you may have a family member or a friend or a colleague that could use those resources. So when you get that, please do share that. We want to reach everyone in the community at this time that's so challenging for us. I want to share with you all that yesterday was Dontre Hamilton's Day, and as usual, I was able to participate in that solidarity activity. And this year, because of the precautions we need to take, the physical and social distancing, we did a car caravan. And so, just want to say again to Maria Hamilton that our thoughts and prayers and solidarity are with you. We haven't forgotten, and thank you for inviting us, and thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your life with us so that we can continue on this journey with you and for other folks who need justice related to similar tragedies. Uh, that reminds me for us to continue to keep in our thoughts and prayers all those families who are experiencing a member who has been tested positive and is afraid now and concerned. And for those of you who have lost family members and friends, our prayers and thoughts are with you. And we don't want to forget that in the midst of working on all the things that we have to, that there are people in our community suffering great loss, and so we're with you. And if there's a way that we can be of help in connecting you with, again, information and resources, please do reach out. Uh, Today on our forum, we continue to have special features, and we have one again today. We're going to be talking in a little bit, not quite yet, with Alderman José Pérez, who has a major portion of the district that SOC serves, and we're so happy that he's going to be with us. I want to remind you to stay with us every day, Monday through Friday at 3 o'clock with SOG. Next week, we have Cinco de Mayo coming up. Congresswoman Moore, among many other folks, is going to be with us. And we're going to launch a special Mother's Day promotion because Mother's Day is coming up already. Not this weekend, the next weekend. So get it together, kids. Love on your moms. We work really hard. We love you really hard. And that's a day you can bless us, and I can bless the mothers in my life as well. So you want to hear all about that Mother's Day promotion. So please be with us next week. Uh, the last reminder I want to make before we bring our guest on is that we are still running our daily gift certificate drawing for $25 every day, just for you to take a simple action. And this week, it is if you fill out our survey. And again, I'm going to keep talking about it because it's really super important to us. We need your feedback because it's 1 month now that we've been providing this forum Monday through Friday. But we want to know what's been helpful for you, what's working well, what do we need to change, or things you'd like to see happen on the forum so we can continue to strengthen it. And we also need those surveys because the funders who are partner with us, we have to demonstrate that we've reached out to you and you've commented and given your opinions about the work that we're doing and the things that we need to change. And so it's super important. Plus, you can win a $25 gift certificate to a local business that supports SOC. Or also, I want to remind you that if there's a business who's doing something extraordinary now during this COVID-19 that you really want to lift up, share that and we'll see if we can verify that and add them to the list of choices for folks. Let's see if we have our super attendees with us yet today, our super fans. I can't see right now. I had to use a different access point for the program, and so I don't have all of the access that I normally do. Let's see now. Mari Cano. Hi, Mari. She's been with us, I think, just about every day since since she was aware of the program. Um, Alderman Perez has been our alderperson. I'll tell you a little bit about him, and then we'll see Maribel. Hola, Maribel, if we can get him on. Alderman José Pérez. On a personal note, Alderman, hola, Chino. Alderman Perez and I grew up together. He was a friend of my younger brothers, and so I have sort of an advantage of a different perspective on him for growing up. But he certainly has partnered with us the entire time that we've been at SOC on almost every initiative that we've had, and um, and he continues to be a strong partner. I'm gonna just read here that we lost Alderman Perez, but he should be back in a second. The other thing you need to know about Alderman Perez is that he was a community organizer before he was an alderperson, and that certainly we believe should add some value to the role that he's playing there. He has some history also in economic development, and so those combinations offer a lot for us to be served in the district. We don't have quite have him yet. So what we're gonna do while we try to get him on is how about let's share with folks a message on coronavirus. You know, every day we come to you here in the program and we share, first of all, what's the latest on the coronavirus because things are changing so quickly. And then we share what's happening with the election. Now, up to the election, it was how to vote. Now it's the calls we're doing is how did it go? Did you feel safe going out to vote or did you stay home? And if you went to vote, how did that go for you? Were you able to complete the vote? Were you at the right poll? If you ordered an absentee ballot, did you get it on time? If you didn't get it on time, did you vote or were you not able to? The reason that we're collecting that data is it's super important to help folks who make decisions about the election for them to know that how it went and how many of you were not able to vote or or if it caused you problems. We've gotten so many calls about that. And we're gathering all that information, not individually, so you don't have to worry about like anyone sharing what you said, but collectively to be able to share the story about the impact that had on people's abilities to vote, which is such a fundamental part of us being here in the United States and how much we treasure democracy. And then we're taking that information also to ensure that we don't have a fiasco like that happen in November. So we're collecting that information by phone, and you certainly can share that here or an email or call the main office. So we have the coronavirus, we have the civic engagement. We do a piece on our programming, and then anything else you want to hear about. Looks like Alderman Perez is, we got him back. And so I'll ask if Alderman Perez can join us today. Alderman Perez, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
You missed the great intro that I gave you, that we grew up together. I didn't tell any stories, that we grew up together.
No,
And
you should tell the stories. They're good ones.
Yeah, there. I was saying that you were a very dear friend of my brother's and that we've partnered without losing a step since I've been at SOC. So welcome. This is us learning how to be organizers in the virtual world. And it's getting a little better over time, but we're still having glitches. So thanks for being persistent and coming back on.
No, thank you.
So today is May Day, so it's such an appropriate time to have you on because you and I talked earlier about what could be a message folks really want to know more about. And I know from the very beginning, I got that call from you saying if there are workers who are struggling to understand what to do during this time or feel forced to work or there's any questions about their safety to let you know. So would you share with us today your thoughts and I saw the recent action that you took as well regarding workers and COVID-19.
Well, I just want to thank you for the invitation to be here and talk and share about this pandemic that's affecting all of us in different ways. I really appreciate you having to change your style and game. And like you and your staff, uh, I'm eager to get outside. I'm eager to talk to people. And when the weather's nice, I always look forward to our neighborhood walks and cutting through alleys. And so not being able to do that and connect with people, it's been difficult for all of us. And we appreciate what you do and your team does for our community and finding a different avenue to get that message out. I will say that I got to say thank you to everyone involved in making, whether you're a first responder, whether you're working in one of the community health centers or a hospital that's attending our sick community members, those affected and their family members. We appreciate everything you do. I have a niece who works at St. Luke's, and we're thanking her all the time and everyone else. And so there's long hours, lots of sacrifice. We know that a pretty high percentage of those workers have contracted COVID-19 and having to deal with it. And we appreciate the sacrifice them and all the first responders do, and the families and people in our community that are just holding on, especially when you think how creative parents have had to be. And I'll give a shout out to mothers, and I see what my wife does with the family and keeping our children focused on academics. It's a big sacrifice, and so I want to say thank you to all those people stepping up.
Thank you. And so share about your press release and your concerns now regarding what's happening with workers.
Well, I'm sure you know. I mean, the numbers and 53215 are increasing. We had an increase, I think, in a week of over 30-some%. We went from close to 400 to 560 cases. So that increase is still worrisome as it continues to rise. And I'm sure you and many of your previous guests have talked about the reasons why in our community, probably having to work and being those essential workers and don't have the luxury of being able to stay home and work from home and having to be out, and then coming home and possibly infecting others when they're not sure. And so because of that and knowing that, we want to make sure that the community knows that the Milwaukee Health Department is paying close attention to employers and making sure that they are putting plans in place that keep their employees safe. And then if they're not, we want to know. And we want to make sure we can assist. And we want companies to be proactive and call when they're in doubt and not wait for the health department to send inspectors and possibly shut you down because you're not taking precautions and have to do that with very little notice.
And is that expectation of businesses cross over the size? There's no size minimum or maximum. This applies to all businesses?
This applies to all businesses. So for instance, I believe right now there is a pretty large business nearby that employs a lot of people from the neighborhood that is in the process of shutting down because they have way too many COVID-19 positive test results in the workplace. And because of that, they have to, and it's going to take a very long time for the process, but they have to shut down until they can have all their employees tested, come up with a remediation plan to figure out what they're going to do, and possibly figure out a way to compensate those employees.
Yeah, so it sounds like taking the precautions is, first of all, in the best interest of just keeping people healthy and alive, but also it's in the best interest of the company to take those steps and not suffer the consequences besides the human loss of the company having further loss and costs, and the messaging that comes along with that, the branding messaging
So
if they didn't do that work.
yeah, so let me help clarify how that works so people can get an idea. Um, Probably outside the city of Milwaukee, you would call 211 since the city doesn't have jurisdiction outside the city limits. The health department has a email and a hotline set up. The company will receive a phone call, will have to kind of divulge their plan or what they're doing or talk about the complaints in process. It may warrant an inspection. It may warrant a follow-up inspection. If things aren't in place, the health department could come in and do an inspection, or they've done even FaceTime inspections where they have to walk around and verify how people are keeping their distance. Do they have masks? Do they have gloves? Are sanitizers, hand sanitizing units, and all the resources in place? And so they will do that. And I can tell you that I heard a story from the health department about a call center that wasn't practicing that. The employees contacted the health department, they got in, and now all the precautions are in place, and we're hopefully preventing the spread of COVID-19 through that accountability.
Yeah, definitely a message that workers and employers need to hear at this time, and for us to
Especially, and
be.
I just want to say, especially if there's a plan in place, and many times if it's not being executed by the management or the ownership of whatever business, we also need the employees to follow back up and say, um, what's supposed to be happening is not happening. And we expect that the whatever remediation plans in place, that they're sharing it with their employees so they know what's expected. And we've also asked for it to be multilingual for all the populations that represent our diverse community.
Well, that's really important information, and we appreciate you sharing that. And again, the takeaway here is employees who feel they're not safe or their employers are not cooperating to call 211. You're saying, and that not, and if they call 211, they have interpreters
Yes, they
to
do.
take language,
Um,
right?
and I say 211 because that way 211 will make the proper referral for any jurisdiction outside of Milwaukee. Inside
Uh,
inside of Milwaukee, they will call the health department. And I also have contact. I have a number if anyone wants to contact the health department. It's 286-37, or excuse me, 286-3674. And I also have an email, which is CEHADMIN at milwaukee.gov. And they could also email, photos, email complaints, and the health department will definitely follow up and make sure that employers are keeping their employees safe as possible.
let's review those numbers, Alderman. 286-3674
Yes,
and area code 414 for the Milwaukee Health Department. And then the email is CEH admin, ADMIN, at
and
milwaukee.gov.
yes, it is.
All right. Do you want folks to CC you on those emails or just contact them?
Yeah, no, we'd appreciate it if they CC us. That way we can keep track of the communication. If they've called and left a complaint and didn't want an email, they can always contact our office and talk to us and let us know the date and time that they called and left a message, so we can reassure that folks that they're going to get good service. And one of the lessons learned by this too now is, I think starting next week, um, health officials throughout the county will now get information that employers have to provide for the amount of cases in the workplace, which up
Oh,
until now they did not know. So if your employer isn't informing you, the health department has that information and can follow up when employers have high numbers of COVID cases in the workplace.
that's great to know. Alderman, share your phone number where they can contact you.
It's 414 286 2861.
286 2861,
Yep.
area code 414. And the email that they should CC?
It's J Perez at Milwaukee.gov.
We'll make sure that that information is on this Facebook Live
Please.
comment feed and all the rest of the information. How about, Alderman, let's switch topics. Thank you for that information. What about, um, what are your thoughts on the why? We've launched this special edition, the why, capital W, capital H, capital Y, of the spring election, despite the risk to the coronavirus and despite the safer at home order. Give us your thoughts on what took place in the spring and what we need to do for November.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, when the governor decided to postpone the election, it was kind of late to start a fight about it with the courts, and lost. And when the Republican legislature filed that, it was unfortunate that they did that and put people at harm. And I just have to say thank you to those who felt it important enough to go out and vote. I'm sorry that you had to do that. Um, we had no choice from the city of Milwaukee. We couldn't violate the law from the court order to continue with the election. And so, unfortunately, people had to do it. The absentee ballots were, a lot of them were sent very late, and it piled up. And even though that folks did it within the deadline, they still didn't get their ballots. We want to know that. We want to make sure we fix it next time around. And most recently, uh, Alderwoman Dimitrievich came and told us, organized us around supporting a plan that she wanted to make sure that we got out a mailing to every registered voter immediately, so that we could get the applications out to everyone early, not knowing how safe it's going to be to go to the polls. And I'm going to encourage everyone for the future to please, um, uh, apply for request your absentee ballot. If you don't get it in time, don't wait till the last minute. Let's get ahead of this, and let's get these ballots in with anticipation so that people have them in hand. It's extremely important.
Yeah, we agree, and we've been following that safe vote that you all passed. Happy to see that. Uh, that's what we were promoting before the election, and we intend to for the November vote as well. So our canvassers, since the election, have been doing calls specifically to ask people about their election experience. We'll be compiling that and sharing that with the community in mass, not as individual answers. And we have compiled a two-page document of questions and concerns and comments regarding the spring election that this special edition has been addressing through lawyers and electeds and veteran grassroots organizers.
If,
Alderman,
if I can add, I appreciate that. I think it's extremely important that that information could be part of the file as the election commission. The time starts winding down when they have to present this plan for the mailing of every registered voter and absentee ballot application. We want to make sure that that information, that feedback from the community is actually officially put in the file and part of the discussion at committee when that's presented. So we hope that you can compile that and get that to us immediately, so to make it part of the record.
we can include the questions we've gathered, and we can include the data. We'll have our staff follow up with your office on the timeline for that. I'll have our civic manager do that, Gabe, and we'll make sure that gets included. Our time is up, believe it or not, already. We appreciate you. We know it won't be the last time you're on with us because you've been at every forum that we've had. Is there any last thoughts you want to leave people with, Alderman, as we close out
You
this
know,
segment?
I just want to tell everyone to please take the social distancing very serious. As I drive through the neighborhood, as I'm, forwarding things to different departments to get fixed or that gets the proper attention, I'm noticing people in groups. I'm noticing people not taking precaution. I live near Pulaski Park, and oftentimes, the basketball court is crowded. Neighbors are calling the sheriffs to disperse large groups. When I go to the grocery store, I take precautions with a mask and glove, and I see so many people that aren't doing that, that are going in larger groups with their entire families. So I can't emphasize enough to please take all the precautions necessary so that you keep yourself and your family safe. I think it's one of the only ways we're going to get these numbers down and life can get back to normal.
Before you go, I'll share some hellos from our participants. Maricano, Maribel, Chino, Lily Ramos, all saying hello.
If I could, I just want to give a shout out to my family and just say hello to my son, whose birthday is coming up soon, and he's going to be 11. So I just want to say feliz cumpleaños.
Oh, great. We have to have him come on and do our thank you recording on Kids Day. Monday is Kids Day. So let's see if we can make that happen. Jeanette Torres, thank you, Alderman Perez, she says, and we say thank you as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Be safe.
You too.
Grateful for having Alderman Perez on. We want to try to bring our next guest on quickly. Let me see if they're with us, just so we can get you all the information that you need today on May Day. Let me just take a quick peek. Let me know if our guest is on. Otherwise, how about let's bring on our coronavirus update, our COVID-19 update while we wait for our next guest. And so, we've been keeping you informed of all the information and resources that we can. Tommy. Hola, Tommy.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Today for you, we have Tammy and Tommy on the show. What do you think about that? What's your real name? Is it Tommy or is it Tomás?
Tomás. No.
It is. Unfortunately, mine is just Tammy plain. I was always hoping it was something more,
It's okay.
elaborate, but I'll take that. Tommy, thank you for being with us on this important May Day. We're so used to being all together for the marcha, and it's not possible right now. But share with folks, what is May Day, and then what are the plans for today and for postponing the actual May Day march?
Yeah, well, Tammy, thank you for having me today. I mean, it's really an honor to be here with SOC. So much vital organizing that is done in the organization, and we've always been very happy to be partners with you all in our efforts as well.
Likewise.
So, as many of you know, historically, May Day has been really a large-scale march that has taken place, which would have been today, centered on advancing workers' rights, civil rights, and the rights of the undocumented, usually around a theme, many times in the past, around our efforts to pass driver's licenses at the state level for undocumented immigrants. However, we certainly are living in unprecedented times.
Yes.
The coronavirus has altered the landscape of our community, and our work at Voces. Everything has really altered. I'm sure that the same at SOC. And of course, this includes May Day. And so May Day, as of a decision by the board and other stakeholders, has been postponed, the march, until August, to line up with the Democratic National Convention coming to town. However, May Day holds a really important part, not only in our shared histories, but in the history of the state. And so we tonight will be holding a virtual May Day via our Voz de la Frontera Facebook page at 6 p.m. And I invite everybody who's listening to this, who's tuning in right now, to join us to celebrate the thousands of workers that are on the front lines of this virus right now, and the value of their labor, and to hear their testimony. Because I'm very happy to share that Voces is working with 9 companies across the state, many people that are working in the food industry, to make sure that those workers, as I mentioned, many of whom are on the forefront of this crisis, that their rights are protected. And we're happy that some of them will be joining us tonight to share their testimonies. We're also going to be discussing our electoral work, working to make sure that Latinos, the multiracial youth, that pro-immigrant rural voters are able to turn out this November, and that they're able to vote safely, most importantly, because we didn't have that in this past election. And we're also going to be talking about updates of where we're at with our new building. As many,
oh, that's right.
As many know, the historic building on South 5th Street, unfortunately, does not accommodate the growing staff at Voces. And now for 6 years, We've been looking to get into a new building, and we finally have found that on a location on 8th and Mitchell Street that really balances the needs of the building size and also the critical populations we serve. And so there'll be a segment on that. And finally, of course, what is a celebration without art? And so we'll have some local artists, Quinto Sol, very well known in the community, and some poetry by an artist that's worked with us many times in the past, Shay Harvey. So I'm really excited about all of that. And again, I invite everyone to tune into the Facebook page of Voz de la Frontera just before 6 p.m. and come celebrate with us. And of course, when the time is right, to come march with us again in August.
This is exactly why we wanted you to come on, because of our strong partnership with you for our workers and our immigrant and undocumented community. Just a couple of touch points. We want everybody to be here at your Facebook Live at 6 today, and to keep a note to pencil in the week of the DNC for the rescheduling of the May Day March. But I was very excited. Given the challenging and sad times we're living, there are a couple of things that are greatly to anticipate after this. And one of them is for you all to be in your new building. And I have a direct appreciation for that because I served as an interim associate director at Voces right before I came to SOC. So I have an appreciation for the tight cubby space that everybody was in, and so much work and so many people that flowed through there. And it was evidence that in order to be able to continue to do the critical work that you do, that a bigger space was needed. So I'm really excited that took place, and I got to hear that firsthand when I was at the gala. So I'm very happy for you all, and very happy for the folks you work with at Voces. Tommy, Alderman Perez, I don't know if you heard or not, but was sharing today the measures the health department is taking with employers. Um, and then in terms of keeping people safe, and he shared that anyone who's a worker who feels that their place of work is not safe regarding the spread of coronavirus can call the health department directly in Milwaukee, or the 211 number, and then people outside of Milwaukee can call the 211 number to get a referral to help their employers understand how to comply, but also that employers can be proactive and reach out and ask for help. And so, that's the work that we talked about now. And so right now, so folks, remember, there's no May Day March today. There's a virtual to keep us all safe. Um, and cooperating with the social distancing. And it's postponed for August in hopes that by that time we can all have a marcha in person. And so there's a pencil there, and we'll see who will be able, if we'll be able to gather. There's a question here. The people who are out protesting, will they have, can they be tested? There's no protest today. It's social distancing. Um, and so it's postponed till August. And also they were commenting, that they're concerned that the testing sites might be biased against certain nationalities. But no, what we want to reassure folks is there's no march today because we can't have one. It's not safe. And then Voces is postponing it, and we're going to see what August looks like, and see if we can come together. Tommy, thank you so much. Say hello to Christine and the rest of the crew, and be safe.
Gracias, Tammy.
Gracias a ti. We'd like to hurry up and bring Gabe, our civic manager, on so that she can give us an update on our civic and census work. she, we have, if we don't have her on yet, can we share and jump to our census videos while we make sure folks are on? And then to remind the next guests, the two staff featured guests to get ready. So let's go ahead and share the census video that we have, All Kids Count. We have our coronavirus video with us.
Hey everyone, my name is Taylor and I'm the coronavirus coordinator as well as the youth coordinator. Happy Friday, woo woo! Today I'm going to introduce you to a few of our youth who decided to put together a video for you regarding some free testing for the coronavirus. Check it out.
Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer. I'm a youth organizer for Southside Organizing Center. Beginning tomorrow, Friday, May 1st, Walgreens will be opening a coronavirus testing site at their store, located at 620 West Oklahoma Avenue.
Hi, I'm Ariana, and I just want to let you know that testing will take place for qualified individuals in the store's parking lot daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tests are free of charge, but appointments are required.
Hi, I'm Maria. You can visit walgreens.com/COVID-19 testing to take a brief screening survey and schedule an appointment. Those tested will be notified of the results within 24 hours.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. We encourage anyone who meets the qualifications to take advantage of this free testing opportunity.
Hi, I'm Kimberly. For more information regarding the coronavirus, please visit our website at www.socmilwaukee.org, where we have more info on free coronavirus testing and other resources.
Thank you so much for joining our youth organizers and myself for today's coronavirus segment. Going to pass it back to Tammy. Thank you.
I gotta tell you, my favorite thing is to see the youth digging in the work that they do along with us. So excited that they came together and helped share that information, and we want to see more of that. Let's see if we have Gabe on the line yet. And you can bring her on, our civic engagement manager.
I'm here.
Hola.
Hi. Glad to be here with everybody, and even happier to be here showing solidarity with the workers of the world, and with this throwback tee actually from Voces de la Frontera with my time with Yes. So glad to see that Voces de la Frontera could be on here today and that they still plan to have an action for May Day. I wish I could be out in the street with everybody today, but like Tomas was saying, we can't with social distancing. So we look forward to doing that in August. I just want to give a recap of some major happenings from this week. So we had an update on the Badger Bounce Back Plan, which is the plan to open up Wisconsin that contains 3 phases. And in order to enter into phase 1, Wisconsin would have to see a 14-day downward trend of the percent of coronavirus tests that are positive out of the total number of tests administered. So once this happens, we can enter into phase 1, which would be reopening restaurants with social distancing in place, and then reopening childcare facilities. Then after phase 1, we would enter into phase 2, which would allow gatherings of up to 50 people and reopening bars. And then phase 3 would be business as usual with whatever safety precautions are deemed necessary at the time. This week, we also had Common Council President Chevy Johnson announce the new chairs of the subcommittees. And you can go and see who those chairs will be by going to city.milwaukee.gov/Common Council, which is shown next to me right here. Just to get an idea of what the responsibilities of those subcommittees are and who will be leading them. You can also then click, I don't know if you can see on the bar that says news releases, and that shows the different statements and news releases from your alderperson. And you can also get those statements sent directly to your inbox by signing up to something called Milwaukee e-Notify. And that is by going to city.milwaukee.gov/e-notify. And you essentially create an account, and then you can check off all of the statements or news releases that you want sent directly to your inbox. It's a great way to stay plugged into local politics and see what your mayor is saying, what your alderperson is saying, what your and what your county supervisor is saying, any updates from MPS. There's tons of options for news releases, press releases, statements to get sent directly to your inbox. Another major update from this week is that 5 of Milwaukee's community health centers are providing coronavirus testing for patients without a primary care physician or without insurance. So, and this is regardless of income, regardless of immigration status. So you can, on the south side, you can go to the Gerald Ignace Indian Health Center on 9th and Mitchell, and the 16th Street Community Health Center on 16th and Washington. Those are the south side locations. Other locations are the Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated, Outreach Community Health Center, and Progressive Community Health Center. So if you are exhibiting or experiencing COVID-19 symptoms, you should call one of those centers and set up an appointment. Very important that you set up an appointment and not just show up, so they can take the necessary precautions to receive you in the safest way possible. Also, this week we had Health Commissioner Jeanette Kowalik on with us, and she talked about having data finalized for us today that would talk about the connection between the election and new COVID cases. So traditional research has claimed that there is no spike in coronavirus cases based on the election, but those same researchers who have said there's no connection also say that the effect from the election might be hidden in the numbers and difficult, if not impossible, to detect. So many of us are still skeptical about these findings, and we look forward to sharing that report with you about the connection between new COVID cases and the election on Monday once that report comes out. Ayer fue Día del Niño in Mexico, so to celebrate Children's Day in Mexico, we are going to share a census video that talks about the importance of counting our children in the census and how it can affect future generations, especially for the next 10 years, and how it can affect your kids for the next 10 years. So I will leave you all with that video. It's very brief, just about a minute, so you can learn about how important it is to count your kids in the census. And I will be back with you on Monday, hopefully with some reports on the election and new COVID cases.
Hey mom, dad, abuelita, tío, I look to you to protect my future. That's why I need you to make sure I'm counted in the 2020 census. In the last census, over 1 million little kids weren't counted. 400,000 were Latino kids under 5. When I'm not counted in the census, there may not be enough funding for my escuela, hospital, daycare center, and the education and health programs I need to grow grande y fuerte. That's why from babies to kids like me, we all need to be counted. Filling out the census is quick and easy. You can do it online, by phone, or by mail starting March 12th. Plus, our information will be kept safe. So when you fill out the 2020 census, be sure to count me too. For more information on Census 2020, call 877-EL-CENSO or visit hazmecontar.org.
Great promo for the census. Loved that. Always thinking about our babies and are we prepared to give them the best life possible? And so the census being critical. Thank you, Gabe, for sharing sort of a recap of the week. And we weren't able to find the report, like she said, yet. That was hoping to be ready from the health department on the COVID and exposure during the election, but we're looking forward to that. And just reminding you again, there's always debates in the community about different opinions. And so, as Gabe was sharing, and I want to reemphasize, there's some researchers saying it'll be too hard to figure out if there was a connection, and other people are saying, and other researchers saying, no, it's not. And so, our role here is to share that information with you and let you decide for yourself what makes the greatest sense. And so, and we hope to have also Dr. Kowalik back from the health department and possibly going through that report with us. At this point, we would like to make sure that you know what's happening in the community. I'm sure many of you, like myself, got their property assessments and they went up, not a little bit either. And so I asked Glady, who's leading our public sources, to share the press release that we received on what you can do about that. Hola, Glady.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. The Common Council released did a press release regarding the assessments going up on properties, and it reads as follows. With the recent mailing of new assessments notices to Milwaukee property owners, we have received numerous inquiries about the increase in assessment values of properties across the city. We are also concerned, and the city assessor is expected to appear in this matter in a matter of days before the Common Council Committee to explain the process and to answer the questions to council members. In the meantime, it's important for property owners who believe their assessment is off base and unaware of the assessment appeals process. Property owners can contact the assessor's office to file an objection and have until May 18th to do so. There's different steps that you can take to process an appeal. You can go to their website at Ask the Assessor. It's assessor@milwaukee.gov. You can call them at 414-286-6565, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:45 p.m. This number, it says, is only available April 27th through May 18th. The second step, you will have to fill out all the appeals forms. All appeals forms must be filled out in full. Please include a phone number and an email address on the completed forms. And then also, the statutory deadline to return your appeals is 4:45 on Monday, May 18th. The appeals can be returned by email, U.S. mail, or the drop box at City Hall. Thank you.
Glady, thanks. So we want to tell folks to, sometimes it's challenging to
It is.
learn how to do this process. So we want to encourage folks, if you need a little extra support and help, we'll come alongside you and work with you and the office, the assessor's office, to get this process done, because there's only 17 days after today. Otherwise, you're stuck with that property bill if in fact you don't want to be, or you feel it wasn't fair. So we don't want you to be intimidated about it, afraid of having contact with the assessor's office, or confused. And we don't know all the answers, but we'll certainly come alongside you, work with your alder persons as well, and help you to contact the assessor's office. So please feel free. Glady, remind us the phone number and the email at SAC.
Sure. The email address for the assessors is assessor@milwaukee.gov. The phone number is 414-286-6565. And remember, that phone number is only going to be available until May 18th. I think that's a really short notice for a lot of people that have questions regarding these assessments.
We'll share that phone number and email here in Facebook Live, but will you spell the assessor's office? Because, I might even have problems
Sure, of
spelling
course.
that, just so that we get that email correct.
Okay. The email is ASSESSOR@milwaukee.gov.
Thank you. And then share SOC's phone number and SOC's email if they want our help connecting with the assessor's office.
Absolutely. You can call us at 414-672-8090, or you can email us at soc@socmilwaukee.org.
And Claudia's usually the person who answers the phone, just so you know, her smile and her voice, and feel welcome to call us and contact us about that public resource or any other public resource. Thank you, Claudia. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Let's see if we have Travis ready to share some information with us today. You can bring him up if he's here. We'll give that a second. Gladys, sorry, Maribel was saying hello, so I missed that message. Sorry, Maribel, sorry, Gladys. Travis is not here yet. How about we bring on Marisol to share about our drawing?
Hi Community Forum, Marisol here. For this week, to enter our $25 gift certificate drawing, there are two ways, and that is to fill out the survey that's located in the comments section, or by taking a census-related photo or screenshot once you've completed it. Those are the two ways. Be sure to do that. Continue to stay safe. Thanks for tuning in. Now let's find out who's today's winner.
Today's winner is Jetty Carr. Jetty, thank you for filling out a survey. We super appreciate it. The rest of you should know you can fill out a survey every day about each program, or you can just fill one out for your whole experience. We have Travis with us now, who's going to share some news. Hey, Travis. I can't hear you quite yet. Not yet. We'll keep trying here for a little bit. We'll bring Travis on when we can get sound. In the meantime, I want to recap for you what's happened in the rest of the show, the forum. This past week, we had Jeanette Kowalik, the City of Milwaukee Health Commissioner, and we had newly elected Alderwoman Jocasta Samaripa, who actually is also still doing double duty as Wisconsin State Representative. And just to recap so far, the guests that we've had, we have had Molly Collins from the ACLU, Dr. Tony Baez, MPS School Board Director, Christine Newman Ortiz, Executive Director of Voces de la Frontera, Judge Pedro Colon, Marquette University Law Professor Ed Falone, Reggie Jackson of the America's Black Holocaust Museum, State Representative Marisabel Cabrera, County Supervisor Silvia Ortiz Velez, and Tim Carpenter, Wisconsin Senator. And so that's the kind of information we want to bring you directly from the source, giving you trusted information on what's happening and responding to mostly, as you all know, since the election, the why of the election despite the coronavirus. And that's super important because we have the next one coming up. We were not able to get Travis on, so I'll make the announcement for him. Milwaukee Police District 6 is launching their virtual monthly crime and safety meeting today. So please check out their Facebook page for details on that and get connected. We want you to know the latest about safety in your community and for you to have access to law enforcement. Just a little bit of trivia history, SOC led the charge many, many years ago for law enforcement to open community meetings. That was piloted at District 6, I believe. when District 6 was another district. And so just so you know, this is our 30th anniversary, but we've had a long legacy of ensuring that you have a voice and a vote and a vehicle to organize. We want to thank you for being with us and remind you to come back next week. And we want to thank our partners who fund us and allow us to continue the work we do for you all and with you all. And so we'll end the program telling you, please be safe, and we'll be sharing here a message of thanks to our financial partners.
Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to SOC's Live Forum today. My name is Jeanette, and I am the resident lead for South of the Tracks Polonia Resident Group. Today we'd like to thank some sponsors: Wisconsin Voices, Community Development Block Grant, Neo Philanthropy State Infrastructure Fund, Movement Voter Project, Catholic Campaign for Human Development, Zilber Foundation, City of Milwaukee Office of Violence Prevention, Tides Foundation, City of Milwaukee Promise Zones, and all the faithful individuals who support SOC through their personal donations. We thank you. We hope you all are staying safe. Talk to you soon.